Hello everybody and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. As you can see, we are back in our beautiful Kenworth W900 and we are back in Nebraska once again for our Cruising Nebraska World of Trucks event. So let's go ahead, get in the truck, and let's get started driving. We've got a lot to talk about. So we have got a load of fruits going from Alliance, Nebraska to North Platte. And before I actually get out on the road, let me go ahead and stop here real quick. Let me show you the map. And we're going to also add a stop. So we're going to go across, directly east, and then directly south. But I am actually going to add a little bit extra to my drive. And I'm going to come down here. The marker's there, I guess. But we're going to go to the viewpoint there. And then we're also going to get the photo there. So that is going to be our drive. And if you did watch the last video, that was supposed to be our final Cruising Nebraska event video, but it did not end up being the case. And I realized it's because I'm a big dummy. And I said I was going to go back and watch my old videos and stuff to figure out what the city I hadn't delivered to yet was. And I had crossed over the city that I delivered to last time. I think it was like Columbus or something like that. But then after like making that video and it not finishing the event, I was like, okay, well, maybe I missed something. So then I went back and watched one of the live streams that I did for the Cruising Nebraska event. And literally as soon as I came off of the like stream starting screen, I was like, all right, our first load's going to be from Columbus to wherever. And I was like, oh, wow, well, I guess I missed that. So now, after going back through the live streams and everything, I am like 99% confident that Alliance was the final city that we hadn't delivered to or from. So that is where we are starting from today, just to be sure that we get it. I did try to find a delivery to Alliance and couldn't find anything. So this is why we did it this way instead. Okay, you did not have the right of way, but that's fine. Also, don't know what just happened with my head tracker there, but that also is... we're just going to ignore that. And I also noticed that when I was turning left out of the prefab, I had my right blinker on, so whoopsies on that. But either way, we are getting on the road now, going to be driving through. We got to drive through Alliance first, kind of. Alliance isn't a very big city, so I don't even know how many traffic lights there's going to be. Probably not many, but another thing I wanted to mention, I have been sick lately, so sorry for no live stream this week, but I do still appreciate all the support on the channel lately. You guys have been absolutely loving all of the rail fanning videos, the Assetto Corsa videos, the American Truck Simulator. You guys have been really enjoying all of it. So I just wanted to say a big thank you for all of you new subscribers and all the people that have been watching those videos. Really means a lot to me. So thank you so much for that support. And with me being sick recently, I want to note I am not on the manual transmission today. I'm just doing automatic because my brain is a little foggy and I don't want to have to try and worry about that while also trying to talk about stuff. So that is why we're doing the automatic today. Right, we've got a very quick merge here, but looks like we don't have any traffic to worry about, so that is good. And my head tracker's doing something weird again, so give me just a second to figure that out. Okay, hopefully we've got it all figured out. Hopefully my head tracker doesn't do anything else weird, but if it does, I do apologize in advance for that. And we are getting rolling. It's bright and early today. As always, before I record, I try to reset the time to be kind of early so that way we're not driving through the night at all, or if we are, it's like we're driving at night right at the end of the trip. Or again, it's so early that it's still a little dark, so we're driving through the dark at the beginning of the trip. But yeah, I think it's like 5 or 6 in the morning right now, so we are going to definitely be doing this whole trip in the daylight, which is nice. And it also is a fairly short trip. Again, most of these trips I've tried to just make them just barely long enough to count for the event, so that means that this trip is no exception. So this trip is like 145 miles, something like that. Again, not very far at all, so All it has to be is more than 100 miles, and we are definitely more than 100. And it looks like we've got a photo spot off to our left, so I'm going to go ahead and pause here. And even though the construction's kind of going to ruin it, I'm still going to go ahead, get a photo, and use that for the thumbnail. And it is the plant ruins, the potash plant ruins that are the special landmark here. So we're going to go ahead and get our photo. Again, the construction signs absolutely ruin it, but it is what it is. Can't make those go away, unfortunately, like I can with all the invisible barriers and stuff like that. Sorry, I kept looking to the left there. I was setting down my keyboard. But, man, we got some water over here, just puddled up on the left and the right. I wonder if this is like a common area for flooding. I know that Nebraska definitely has been having a lot of, I'm pretty sure it's Nebraska. I've been reading a lot about flooding issues kind of all over the Midwest recently, and I think Nebraska is one of the #1 states that I've been hearing of having flooding issues. I've also heard North Dakota, I think, was having some major flooding issues, so if by chance you're somebody that's been dealing with flooding issues and stuff, I hope everything is okay and that you are safe and that all of your family is safe as well, and that everything works out okay. And even if, you know, everything is safe, I hope the flooding isn't bothering your daily life too much, even if it is not necessarily directly impacting, you know, your home or something like that. I still hope that it's also not affecting your commute to work or anything like that, and you're able to continue on like normal. Natural disasters are never fun to have to deal with. I'm very blessed and thankful to live somewhere that natural disasters are fairly uncommon, but you know, it comes at it comes at a price of living. But I much would rather pay the high price of living to not have to deal with natural disasters. But I also know that there's not a lot of you that get that choice. So again, definitely feel for you guys that are dealing with those or have to deal with those on a fairly regular basis, and hope that again, everything turns out okay for you guys. Alright, we're coming up to a 45 zone here. I don't see a city name or anything like that, so it must just be one of those small little towns for us to drive through. Let's see if we can grab the name here. Wow, I could not read that. I don't know what that said. It started with an H. Started with an H, and I think it had a Y in it. Maybe I'll be able to pause the video when editing and show the name, but I definitely could not read it when traveling it. Only 30 miles an hour. I could not see what that said. It's a cute little town, though. Got a bank, some train tracks running through it. Typical small city stuff. An old airplane hangar, it looks like. And a school as well. An all-brick school. Don't see those too often anymore. At least not here. Small gas station as well. And this Subaru is going to go there. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that's a highway. Oh yeah, that's just another highway. Never mind. Alright, what do we got? Thedford and Ashley? I don't think either of those cities are even in the game either, but one of them was 30-something miles away and the other's 100 miles away, but neither of those are the places that we're going to, so we don't really care. Oh, must be some sort of plane flying over. The shadows went over us. That's cool. I don't think I've ever seen that before in this game, so that was pretty cool to see. Happens all the time here. Since we've got Portland the PDX, the airport near us, when I'm out doing deliveries, I see the shadows of planes all the time, so it's kind of cool to see that in the game too. And we are finally getting up to our 65-mile-an-hour speed limit. I think this is our first time so far in the trip that we've actually been able to go the speed limit, because beforehand we were stuck behind the slow truck until we got into town, and then once we got into town we had to slow down to 35 miles an hour, which I guess now I should redo my wording. I guess this is the first time that we've gotten up to 65 miles an hour. Obviously when we were traveling through town we were able to get up to the speed limit, but that's because the speed limit was only 35. So I should have been smarter with my wording there. train off to the left. Let's see if we can beat him in a race here. It's going to be close. He's going pretty fast, but I think we might be able to get ahead of him here. Man, he is booking it though, and I'm limited to 65 because it's an external contract, so I don't know if I'm going to beat him. And I'm also not going to be too focused on beating him because I want to see that view. Those hills look awesome. Looks like we got a bridge too that we're going to go over. Oh, we're going to go right over the train tracks. Let's see, did we beat him? I think we beat him. Sure did. Oh, and I'm driving in oncoming traffic. That's not a good idea. Too focused on making sure I won the race that didn't even keep looking at the road. But the important thing is I didn't hit anybody, and I did in fact win the race. So those are the two things that matter. And once again, we're slowing down, driving through small
What did he say?
small city, and not a small city. And we are going back down to 35 miles an hour, and this is that city of Thedford or Theoford. I don't know which one it was. I couldn't really read it. Again, it's kind of hard to read the signs in this game as you drive by them. No matter how fast or how slow you're going, it seems like it's pretty hard. I don't know if there's... I don't think there's any sort of motion blur or anything, and I've got depth of field turned off. But I still struggle with reading those names as we go through. Alright, now we've got a sign for North Platte, which is 60 miles away. So we are closing in on finishing out our trip. I guess we're probably about halfway, I would say. And again, we are going to do that little bit extra to get that that viewpoint. But that'll only add probably another 2 or 3 minutes to the actual trip, so shouldn't be too bad. And there is that train that we saw earlier, and we have now officially beat him in a race because now we are going a different direction from him. But at the cross point where we ended up together, I still got there first. So I am officially the winner in the train versus truck race. Look at me go. Only difference, I guess, is that he's hauling like 10 times more than I am. And could be hauling a lot more, but it was a very small train. Once again, back up to our 65 mile an hour speed limit. We had to go down to 50 there for a little bit, which I honestly thought it would drop more than that. Maybe it did, and I just didn't notice it. I went like 50, so I didn't get a ticket or anything either, so I'm hoping that's what it was. We got some wildlife off to the left there. I guess it's not necessarily wildlife. It looks like they're part of a farm, so not necessarily wildlife, but some sort of animals. Cows, it looked like. It's so weird now, after doing manual for so long, to now go back to the automatic. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I feel like I'm not doing something right. Super weird. Maybe I should have just done manual anyway. Alright, don't pull out in front of me, dude. Somebody did that in the last video. Thank goodness. Now I'm gonna be, like, paranoid every single time. Which, if you didn't watch the last video and didn't see that, I would love to tell you to just go back and watch it, but you know what? I'll do you a favor. I'll just show the clip here. So we have now replaced our flatbed and just T-boned somebody because they pulled out right in front of us. And as you can see, he did the exact same, that truck just did the exact same thing that that car did, where he started to pull out a little bit, and then in this time he stopped, but in the last video the car just kept going. And I thought that the car was going to do what that truck just did, but then he didn't, and so I T-boned him, and it was a bad time. And that was literally like at the very start. I hadn't even picked up a load yet. At least this time, I'm like, I've already got a load, and I would be almost done, but I don't know if that really makes it any less bad. I still would be T-boning somebody, and in this case, it'd be a truck. So it'd probably do way more damage to me than the car did. But I digress. Nothing happened. We're all good. Even the car crash situation didn't turn out too bad. I didn't have a ton of damage. And we are now pulling into North Platte, which means we are getting close to our destination. As you can see, it is on the left, and because we are going to that viewpoint, we are staying in the right lane though, because the viewpoint is on the right. So again, we got to remember that our checkpoint though is not actually to the viewpoint. Our viewpoint's going to be a little bit before that. We're going to have to make a left and go down a road. Uh-oh. Red light? No, I made it. We're good. We're going to have to go down a road that for some reason wouldn't let me put a check mark on it. But, you know, we're aware of it. Should be pretty easy to make sure that we don't miss anything. And we've also got a photo spot over here as well, which I will grab. Not going to use it for the thumbnail, but still will be nice to have it and have that photo trophy out of the way. Lots of brick buildings here. I know this is a pretty old city, so that definitely makes sense. And we're going to have to swing wide for this turn. This is a pretty sharp one. Keep an eye on those mirrors. We're probably going to clip the curb just a little bit. Thankfully, there was no cars coming, so that made it kind of easy. And we are going to go ahead and pause if I press the right button. And let's get that photo trophy out of the way. And this photo trophy is for the Prairie Arts Center. Let's make sure we get the full Arts Center in the picture. There we go. Alright, now I paused at an awkward time because I couldn't find the right button. Now I'm like halfway into the intersection that I need to turn at, but I guess it kind of works out because, again, I have to swing super wide to be able to make it. And we did make it, so that's good. Brick roads, too. That's pretty cool. Definitely don't see that very often. Oh, this guy's turning this way. That's a bit unfortunate. I pulled out a little far for you. Sorry about that. Alright, and I think after this gray SUV, we should be all clear. And we are indeed. And we'll say this viewpoint's a little bit further down than I realized. But that's okay. We'll still grab it anyway. Oh, and the speed limit is only 25 miles an hour. Almost went way too fast. Now we got 35. I thought it was 35 that whole time, so. And we're actually going to go all the way up to 40. Nice. And so I'm assuming this viewpoint is for the big train yard in North Platte, and it certainly looks like it. This is the big UP yard. I can't think of the name right now for some reason, even though I've mentioned it in every other video where I've talked about North Platte. But biggest yard in the world, if I remember correctly. And I'm sure when we get to the viewpoint, it's going to tell us the name. At least I hope it does. Oh, Bailey Yard. I don't even have to see the name. I remember now. It is the Bailey Yard. I'm like almost 100% sure. This will be cool that this is the viewpoint. I don't know which driveway to go in, but we're just going to go in this one. And it looks like that was correct. The other one was just for if you want to sleep. Alright, and there is the viewpoint marker. So let's go ahead and get our truck shut off. Go ahead and put on our flashers here. Get our truck shut off, and we will enter the viewpoint, and I'll shut up so you can enjoy some ambient sounds of the game. Alright, so obviously the viewpoint didn't actually end up being for the yard. It ended up just being for this Golden Spike Tower, which kind of makes sense, I assume probably due to licensing and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, I have a mod that makes Union Pacific be a part of the game, but it's not normally a part of the game, so I'm assuming, again, having to do with licensing and all that, they probably couldn't actually maybe show the yard or say that what yard it is or something like that. I don't know, but either way, the Golden Spike Tower was still pretty cool. It was cool seeing all the flags for all the different states surrounding the tower. I thought that was pretty sweet. And the little wooden like train, that was pretty cool too. Definitely didn't notice that one pulling up. Obviously, it was pretty hard to miss all the flags, but I definitely missed the wooden train, so that was cool to see. That's one of my favorite things about the fact that they added these viewpoints in the game, is like it really makes you appreciate some of the stuff that they do in the game that you maybe wouldn't have noticed. I mean, even just something as simple as that, you know, like adding sculptures and stuff like that. It is super, super cool that with the viewpoints we actually get to really see it and appreciate it as much as I feel like it deserves to be appreciated. And there it is, as we can see on our way out here. Very cool. Alright, so now we just drive back the way that we just came, and then we will drop off our fruits at, I believe we're going to a Target is where we're delivering to. So we are just around the corner, and since we did just see all this, I'll just go ahead and catch you guys back out on the main road, and we'll go ahead and get our load delivered. Alright, here we are back out to the main road. This might be a little interesting to get across because visibility is fairly low thanks to these buildings, but I think we're going to be okay. Alright, I think we should be good after this charger. Yep, just enough time. Alright, and now we get to see how easy or difficult this back is going to be. I don't have super high hopes that it's going to be easy, but I don't know. It is to a Target, so it might be easier than I think. Ooh, I don't know. I'm not liking what I'm seeing so far. Well, I guess let's see. We'll turn down this way, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw on my hazards here. And I think this actually is going to be way easier than I thought, but let's see. Ooh. Alright. We are backing into the dock right there. Oh, wow. This is going to be super easy. Okay, so what we're going to do then is I'm going to loop around the building and then basically just pull straight out into the street so that I've got a straight back set up. This should be, hopefully, really, really easy. I'm going to let you go by, buddy. Sorry, this is going to be kind of weird. Oh, there's some people coming from behind me, too. Alright. So now what we're going to do is we're going to loop around, pull into the lot here. And again, this should set us up really good for basically just a straight back. Make sure we don't hit the wall there. Make sure no traffic is coming from either direction. And maybe it won't be entirely straight, but this should still be fairly easy. We'll get the window rolled down, get leaned out here, and that is about as straight as it's going to be. So this is going to be a super easy back, and that is what we love to see. Alright, and we'll just bump the dock here. Gotta get slowed down a little bit to do so. We got a nice downhill slant, so I can just kind of ease on and off the brakes. And there we go. Go ahead and set the parking brake. And before I do my outro, let's make sure that this actually was our final delivery of the Cruise in Nebraska event before I get all excited and say that it is, and then it turns out it's not. Come on. If it's not, then I don't know what it is. Let's see. It wasn't. Dude, I don't know what the last city is then. Literally have no idea. Because this one, I mean, I went through the videos. I could have swore that this was the city I hadn't delivered to. I really don't know, man. Huh. Alright, well, if you're somebody that's been watching the channel a lot and has watched the videos and watched the live streams and stuff, and you notice that there's a city I missed, definitely let me know. Because I went through the videos, and that was... Alliance was the one that I hadn't been to. And I know that that trip was more than 100 miles, so... I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I have heard of some other people having issues with the event as well, so maybe it's just glitched out. I don't know, but... Either way, I had a ton of fun making the video. I hope you guys had a ton of fun watching it. I really, again, appreciate all the support lately, especially those of you that do watch all the way through. So if you did make it through this far, please leave a comment down below so that I can thank you for watching all the way through. And again, please make sure to like, comment, and if you made it this far and aren't subscribed already, please subscribe as well. And hopefully, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.